Here we are at the very beginning of the lot. This is where the phone and water come in. There's the road and the power at the road. And did find this first pin indicating the boundary between B83 and B84. I took a picture of it for you. Go ahead and just walk into the property a little bit. It's not too thick that you can't walk through it. There's the road up there. Oh, we're just going to walk a little bit here. Lots of big trees. Lots of oak brush. And lots of relatively flat areas that wouldn't be too difficult to level for a building site. It's a little thicker back here. There's my dog. But really, quite an easy walk. Oops. So give you a good idea of what it looks like. Back a little further into the lot. Some nice flat open areas to put a building site that aren't too far away from the road, but also well hidden from the road. Alright, I'm going to go find the other pin and walk along the rest of the property to give you a better idea of what that side looks like. We just had a pretty big rainstorm, but I just realized that there's Fisher's Peak, and the whole mesa goes across the skyline here. Really hard to see from this video, I'm sure, but with just taking down a few trees, you would really open up the view of Fisher's Peak, which is really a nice view. Alright, now I'm going to the other side of the property. Alright, this is the other end of the property. This is actually the steeper part of the property. It starts off pretty mellow here though. Definitely a little thicker back here than it was on the other side. Still room to build though, and the road is just back there. It's not far, but you'd have a lot of cover from the road with all these nice trees. And again, the mesa, Fisher's Peak Mesa, is starting to open up now. The clouds are starting to leave a little bit, but see it peeking back up there. If I was a taller person, you'd see it a lot better. But again, the mesa follows the skyline there, and just with a few tree removal, you'd have a really nice view. This does drop off quite a bit more than the other side does. Still could be buildable, but again, definitely we are on the steeper side of the property. Walk down here a little bit. Definitely gets really thick back here though. Nothing that couldn't be cleared out. And I don't know if you can really tell the grade on here or not, but I would definitely use the other end of the property to build. It's just not nearly as steep. I'll try to get through this and get a better view of the property here in just a minute. You can see the forest floor down there. It's not as thick as we make our way down. But very nice forest, and with a little mitigation, this would open up very nicely. And we came from up there. Okay, here's what I believe the end of the property is. Most of these property lines are marked with this orange stake, and typically we can find a pin, but I'm not seeing one. This basically goes to the end of the cul-de-sac, which you can see the cul-de-sac here. And there's two driveways at the very end of the cul-de-sac that go to two different properties. But I do believe this is the end of this property line, and do another walk in here in just a minute.